Hey guys, it's me, Sad the Mac, and I'm here to do a quick review about Avengers: Age of Ultron. It was a different kind of step in the direction of how they were going. You could kind of tell that it was that little bit of a bridge between Phase 2 and Phase 3, introducing some new characters and obviously kind of introducing you to the bigger world. That's actually obviously setting up little quips with the fact of Wakanda, ready for Black Panther. Now, I'm not a huge... I haven't obviously bought a lot of comic books in my time, so when it comes to the actual origin stories and things like that, I am actually completely unaware of what the original story is, which is in a way kind of good because I can look at this as being about the movies and about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It could be one of those things as well where you can have too much of a little bit of a blinkers on sort of thing. I'm looking at it as sort of say, oh, it's not true to this, it's not true to that. I think the thing about it is being able to respect both worlds, and that's a pretty good thing about how Marvel are doing things. They're taking snippets from what they need to do, putting it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and letting it become its own entity. We're obviously not straying too far away from the original content. So, from what I understand, Captain America Civil War side of things is obviously a big part in what Marvel has actually done over the years. It's one of the biggest stories that have been told, I know that. It's taken something which I quite liked, which was how the fact that there's always going to be a conflict between these big characters, gods and superheroes sort of thing. They're not always going to get on. The only slight criticism I have with how they're actually going from Age of Ultron into Civil War is the fact that Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, they kind of leave on really good terms. How are you going to get to the point where you're going to be fighting each other? Because they're not going to do the same original story where there's all these secret identities, because let's face it, everybody knows who the Avengers are. The only exception will probably be Spider-Man, but let's face it, the filming side of things and the story is they probably will introduce the character, but not necessarily have him as a big part in the film. Yeah, I liked how they played on the fact that there's always going to be conflict, that the trust issue, especially with the fact that they all want the same thing. They all genuinely want to save the world. It's not necessarily a case that they're all looking at it thinking, I need to save the world and I don't need the rest of them. They do. They need each other. Ultron character, which ultimately I really like, James Spader played an absolutely brilliant part of it. I thought he did really well. My only criticism was the fact they seemed also at times too human. I don't know if that kind of makes sense. As I say, I haven't read any of the comic books with the fact with Ultron in it, so I'm not sure if in the comic books is very true to the fact that even though he is this AI creation, he's obviously still a machine. Is the AI actually as emotional as what Ultron was in the film? You can let me know, you can enlighten me. Some of the action scenes were pretty much well put together, especially the finale. I hope that in some more of the future films, especially when we get to Infinity War, that we start seeing maybe the characters fighting generic people, actual other people, because let's face it, for both the Avengers films it's just a case, let's throw a load of CGI at it, and it's kind of, you can see the fact that if they're fighting anybody, they're going to be wearing green suits, or they just can't use their imagination, which I'd like to see maybe a little bit of that, because ultimately you need to show it on a big scale. That's how you implement a huge threat to the world, is by in big scale. But let's face it, if Thanos turns up with only like him and a handful of like major villains to back him up, I think that would be better to see the fact that actually there's like the personal stories, so like Thor and Loki and that sort of thing, to say, right, that's what they're here for. Yeah, Age of Ultron, very good film. Classing it as the same as the first, I have to say it's probably the first, with it being the first time that you see all these heroes put together in a film, was just amazing. I can remember that first point when obviously Bruce Banner turns around and he says, I'm always angry, and he hulks up and then he smashes the big massive sky shark thing, whatever the hell they are actually called, and then you get that big panoramic shot of them all, and then the music's playing and they're all there and you think, okay, this is it, this is cool, this is absolutely amazing. You're never going to really beat that. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel, plenty of other videos that I'll bring up as time goes by. I'll bring forward a review of Season 1 of Flash, which I hope you guys have been enjoying, and I will be looking for your feedback too. So yeah, follow me on Twitter at @SideTheMackham. You can find me on there. Stay tuned to my YouTube channel for cracking reviews, hopefully some films, games, TV shows, as well as gaming videos. Leave some comments below, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.